Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on the two noble kinsmen and we get to hear from Emilia today in Act 5, Scene 1. So Act 5, Scene 1 is sort of the pregame show to everybody's getting ready for this fight scene that they're going to have where Palamon and Arcite are trying to push each other into a pole, and whichever one touches the pole dies, and whichever one pushed the other one into the pole gets to marry Emilia. And Emilia is not thrilled about this from any perspective. She doesn't want to be responsible for one man dying. She doesn't really want to have to marry the other one, and she's already talked about the fact that she can see merit to both guys, so she doesn't really know who she should be rooting for. And she doesn't think that she's ever going to love a man as much as she loved her childhood friend Flavia anyway. So she's really not enjoying this situation. But as part of the pregame show, first we saw Arcite and his team praying to the god of war, Mars, for his support, which they think they have. And then we saw Palamon and his crew praying to Venus, the goddess of love, and they believe that Venus is on their side. They think that they've got her support. And so they have all now left the stage, and we have Emilia comes in, and she's all dressed in white, and there's another woman in white, like carrying her train, and somebody's carrying a silver hind that they lay down at the altar, and they set it on fire to, be her sacrifice to Diana, the goddess of the hunt. And Emilia says, "O sacred, shadowy, cold and constant queen, abandoner of revels, mate contemplative, sweet, solitary, white as chaste and pure as wind-fanned snow, who to thy female knights allowest no more blood than will make a blush, which is their order's robe. I here, thy priest, am humbled for thine altar. O vouchsafe with that thy rare green eye, which never yet beheld thing masculate, look on thy virgin and sacred silver mistress. Lend thine ear, which never heard skirl term, into whose port never entered wanton sound, to my petition, seasoned with holy fear. This is my last of vestal office. I am bride-habited, but maiden-hearted. A husband I have pointed, but do not know him out of two. I should choose one and pray for his success, but I am guiltless of election of mine eyes. Were I to lose one, they are equal precious. I could doom neither. That which perished should go to it unsentenced. Therefore, most modest queen, he of the two pretenders that best loves me and has the truest title in it, let him take off my wheaten garland, or else grant the file and quality I hold, I may continue in thy band." And at this point, the hind that they were burning falls below the altar, and then a rose tree grows up from behind the altar that has one rose on it. "See what our general of ebbs and flows out from the bowels of her holy altar with sacred act advances, but one rose. If well inspired, this battle shall confound both these brave knights, and I, a virgin flower, must grow alone unplucked." And then there's some music sounds, and then the rose falls, and the tree goes away. The flower is fallen, the tree descends. "O mistress, thou here dischargest me. I shall be gathered. I think so, but I know not thine own will. Unclasp thy mystery." I hope she's pleased. Her signs were gracious. And that's the end of the scene. So, some stuff to unpack here. She goes and pays all due respects and all that sort of a thing to the goddess Diana, but then is like, I don't know which guy to cheer for. I'm supposed to marry one of them. I'm dressed like a bride, so I'm ready to go. But I think losing either one of these men, having either one of these men killed, would be a bad thing. So I'm going to leave it up to you, Diana, to to help the one that loves me most win. At which point a rose tree grows up from the altar with just one rose on it. So Emilia's like, wait a second, but there's just one rose, so maybe both of them are going to die and I'm supposed to be alone and untouched and remain a virgin like this one beautiful rose. But then the rose falls off and the tree that grew the rose like falls down, and she's like, wait, now I'm really confused. I don't quite know what these signs mean. And she's like, thanks Diana, yeah. And then they leave and she's just kind of confused. So Arcite is feeling good about the whole thing. Palamon is feeling good about the whole thing. They both think that they're going to win. And Emilia has no greater clarity about who she even wants to win in this battle than she had previously. So, and that's the end of Act 5, Scene 1. So we're going to have to get to the fight. Leave me a comment and let me know who you're cheering for, if you're cheering for anyone. Or do you think Emilia should just end up a lone virgin like the beautiful rose on the tree that grew out of the altar of Diana? Anyway, I will see you tomorrow for more. Mwah.